Hey, what's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and you are listening to an all-new Season 3 of the Mindshare Podcast, a proud member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network. Additional podcasts are available at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Vantage Law and Kit's Keep in Touch Systems. Vantage Law's principal lawyer, Alessandra Ocampo, says, "We are committed to delivering service excellence to our clients and partners in the areas of real estate law and private lending. We also provide notary public services. We pride ourselves on handling your legal needs in a personal and professional manner. Our promise to our clients and partners is to deliver our services in a respectful, approachable, and hospitable manner. We offer virtual service and mobile service within a 2-hour radius of our Vaughan office with evening and weekend availability for the convenience of our clients. Be sure to check in with Alessandra and Vantage Law for all of your legal needs." And of course, Kits is always with us. Kits offers a fully loaded cross-channel marketing suite for the real estate industry, including tools to help you manage your business, build mindshare, and drive even more sales. You can learn more on my site at mindshare101.com by clicking on Marketing. I also want to share that we are working to get to 100 reviews on iTunes, and I want you to be a part of it. I mean, if you already have, a big thank you. Seriously, I am very grateful. And if you haven't yet, please take 2 minutes. Go to iTunes, rate the show, leave a review. It really is that easy. And again, thank you in advance. Today's episode is number 123. Now, as you would have seen from all of our pre-show promo, we were scheduled to have Remax Integra's Regional Director for Ontario, Atlantic, Canada, Mr. John Dobingen, as our guest today. But unfortunately, John did come down with a cold, and so unable to join us today. We will reschedule. We've got it in the works. We'll keep you posted about it, but for now, we wish him a very speedy recovery. All that said, timing couldn't be more right to have this conversation with you today. And so I've kind of decided here that I want to go a little bit a cappella with you a little bit. And this is pretty different. This is not the type of stuff that I do on a regular basis with this podcast. And it's not that there's an inability, but we like to have our guests. We like to bring on, industry leaders. We like to bring on people that have a lot of success in the industry, be it top producing agents, be it people that are, running some of our major corporations or companies, folks that have shown leadership in all areas in this business. And I think that, when you really look at it, and I mean, total a cappella here, but when you really look at it, a lot of what we're doing with the show is obviously, the goal is to build a lot of mind share. And my goal is always to help you get out there and build more mind share. And look, I've been at this, about 17 years now. I think we started Kits back in 06. So what are we, about 17 years? No, 15, 16 years. I don't know. I think it was about that. But, we've really had the good fortune over a number of years to be able to speak with, thousands, tens of thousands of realtors and mortgage brokers and people in the industry and really get a good handle on, where are people struggling, where are people seeing their successes. And, when we started Kits, the whole idea there was to really get out and do a whole bunch of marketing for you and help you really reap the rewards of repeat and referral business. Look, through all of the marketing plans and all the budgeting and all the strategizing I've done with so many agents and so many people I talk to across the board, when we really look at our business, 70 to 90% of our business always comes from the people that know us, like us, and trust us. It just is what it is. And so when we're seeing the bulk of our business come from that group of people, what are we trying to do? Well, we've got to ensure that we're going after that group of people. But if we're not tracking and we're not measuring and we're not looking at, who those people are and where the business is coming from and what we're doing to have success, it's a tough go. And we end up running around like chickens with our heads cut off going, what do I do today? How do I do more? Here, take today for a perfect example. I am one that is very, very structured around what I do in a day. I've got my day laid out the night before, and I want to talk more about that in a moment. But, the day's laid out the night before. Hey, we see the road we're going down. So it's very easy to get in the car the next morning and just start driving because we know exactly where we're going. Well, sometimes there's a monkey wrench thrown at you, right? And sometimes all of a sudden, you're about to sit down for dinner and all of a sudden somebody says, hey, I want to go look at some properties. And you literally drop everything to go and do that. And again, you just decided, like, all of a sudden you're going down this other road. That doesn't sit well with me. I like to be very structured and very planned. And I believe, and we're going to talk about this now, but I believe that when you've got the structure, when you've got the plan, you will achieve a hell of a lot more. You will accomplish a lot more. You will have the success that you're looking for. So, talking about success, right? How do we achieve it? How do you achieve success and how do we get more of it? I'm going to tell you, it comes down to three things. But just before we get into those three things, look, as I've got this good fortune of speaking to so many people on a regular basis about what's going on in this market, I'm talking everybody again from agents, top producers, people that are just brand new in the business, industry leaders, finance people, you name it. There's a real worry about what's going on with this market right now, and I'm worried for a few reasons. One of the reasons is, for you, it's been crazy. If you've got a listing, like yeah, it's like winning the lottery. But if you don't have a listing and you're running around with buyers right now, what ends up happening is you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and you're constantly going after trying to figure out, what do I do? How do I make an offer? What are we going to do to win this one right now? And I mean, I've heard two crazy horror stories over the past 7 to 10 days. One of them, friends of mine put an offer on a property. They offered $400,000 over asking, and they didn't get the deal. 400 grand. How much more did the other people offer? What is going on over here? To me, that is nuts. Like the first question I got, I've asked so many people this, right? First question I have is, where's everybody getting this extra money? Like, where are they getting the money? Do they just have all this extra money? And if they do, why weren't they looking at a property at that price point? Well, no, most people get qualified at X. And if we look at the market, we look at the rates, and we think about stress tests, and we think about all these bogeys that you need to hit to get money from a bank or a broker, now all of a sudden you get pre-qualified at, I don't know, 750. You and I both know that 750 is going for like 950, but you get pre-qualified at 750. We go looking at houses for 750, which learning moment. Obviously, in the market we're in right now, if you're qualified at 750, maybe you should go look at properties are like 550. Yeah, but my buyers don't want that. No, I got you, but they got to understand that that's where the market's at unless they can go get more money. But on the flip side of that, when they go get more money, can they afford to pay that every single month? And I mean, hey, what happens if rates go up? Then what? Like, what do those people do? So, I mean, one of the horror stories was $400,000 over. The other one was from some clients of mine the other day. They lost by $2,000. So I don't know which one hurts more, being completely priced out by 400K up, even though you've literally stretched yourself. Like that's another $1,600 ish on a mortgage payment every single month. That is crazy money. I mean, think about your own position. Think about your client's position. What would they do if all of a sudden they took on that extra $1,600 a month on top of the other amount that they already kind of committed themselves to paying, right? Now they got this massive mortgage. What happens to vacations? What happens to all the extracurricular activities? What happens to all the fun that you want to have? The not living with handcuffs on. What happens to all that stuff? Well, again, if we're not watching our finances, we're not watching our money, this stuff goes out of control very, very quickly. So, I mean, with the market we're dealing with right now, and we think about the fact that, again, low inventory, crazy amounts of offers going on out there, you've really got to look in and say to yourself, is this you or is this the market? And I know through speaking with a lot of people, mindsets are being affected right now. People are getting really down and out on themselves, on what they are doing, what they're not doing. And what am I doing wrong? But remember something. It really, at this point right now, and my friend James said this earlier in a blog that he put up or an article that he was quoted in. It people don't care about the sob story about your puppy or about being a new homeowner right now. Right now, people care about how much money you are going to put towards that deal. So what is your deposit and what kind of price are you coming in at, and how many conditions you don't have. And I went, you know what, man, like you're bang on. Right. And this is our friend James Balonis, James in the City. And I'm quoting him on that one right now. And I loved what he said because he's absolutely right. Like right now, it really all comes down to dollars and cents. But there's got to be something in there that allows us to leverage the relationship, allows us to leverage what we know about the industry or what we know about those sellers. And look, I mean, I haven't got the perfect answer for that right now. But again, knowing that it's a tough market, we got to look at the fact that, yes, it's a tough market, but we can't control the market. The only thing we can do is control what we do. So by staying in control of what we do every single day, no doubt, no matter what's going on out there, we are going to put ourselves in a position to have more success. And so, when we think about mindsets and your mindset right now, if you're hanging your head a little bit, if you're looking up at the sky instead of hanging your head and going, what am I doing wrong? Or what am I not doing? I get that there's a lot of extra work going on right now, but don't beat yourself up about it. Stay focused on the plan. Stay focused on what you're trying to achieve, and you will get there. Because, hey, they say the strong survive. And when we look at a market like this is making you resilient. This is making you realize what you need to do to get creative to get a deal done. You could sit back and lament. Hey, step aside, go lament. I know some people that want to blow right past you right now. But I also want to encourage you and light a fire under your ass right now to say, hey, there's a lot of people that want to blow past you. Don't let them get past you. You got to keep moving. You got to keep pushing. So I said this to you a few minutes ago, right? Success comes down to three things. And I want to break those down for you right now. And I really want you to internalize this because just thinking, I want success, just hoping to have success, just saying, I want to be a top producer, it's not enough. It's about what you do every single day. So I might have asked you this personally before, and I know I've asked many people this. And so if you're one of these people, hey, you kind of know where I'm going. But if you're not, I want you to think about this right now. Okay. If I said to you, come on over, come see me. And you said, okay, cool. I'm going to come see you. I said, do you know where you're going? I mean, can you come? You're like, yeah, I can make it. Okay, cool. Get in your car and come over. What's the first question you're going to have if you've never been here before? Dave, where am I going? What's the address? So you need to know where you're going. I mean, you got the fortitude and the ability to get there, but to get there, you've got to know where is there. And this is why this is a perfect conversation for today. And I mean, it's unfortunate that John couldn't be with us today, but looking at where we're at right this moment in time, Q1 ends today. Now, if you're listening to this on iTunes, if you're listening to this on Friday or Saturday or even tomorrow, Thursday, we're now officially into Q2. That means Q1 is a thing of the past. And in about, 8 hours from now, Q1 will be a thing of the past. 10 hours, forgive me, less than 10, whatever. It will be a thing of the past, which means that this is the moment to analyze. This is where we look back and we ask ourselves, what did I accomplish? How much did I do? How much have I, done? And where am I in comparison to my goals and my plans and what I've ultimately wanted? Because I know, and that back in like November, December, you had this big thought of like, I'm going to have an amazing year in 2021. No matter what COVID did, no matter what 2020 looked like, 2021 is going to be badass for me in a good way, right? You know what I know. We all, every year we want it to be better. Well, the difference is, did you set your goals? Did you actually lay out what it is that you wanted to accomplish? Did you define where, right? The address. Where are you trying to get to? Again, if you don't know where you're trying to get to, you can't get there. So when we talk about goals, if you haven't set your goals yet this year, I want you to think about this. Write down everything that you want to accomplish, everything you want in life. Once you've written down what you want in life, break it down to what you think you can accomplish this year. This could come down to a number of deals that you want to do. This could come down to, GCI that you want to total. This could come down to charities you want to, take part in. This could come down to taking care of family. I mean, this could be business. This could be personal. This could be emotional. This could be anything. What makes you satisfied when you look in the mirror? What is it? I want you to write that stuff down. Once you've written it down, you kind of know what you're trying to achieve. We're going to break that down, and we're going to put those down from a lifetime into an annual, right down into a monthly goal. I want to know what I'm trying to achieve this month. And I'll tell you right now, my end of month happens tonight. And I mean, we've already been prepping for the end of month, but we do the official, we put the period on it, underline it, bold it, exclamation mark, whatever you call it. We close it off tonight because we want to know exactly what we accomplished, including everything we're doing today in the final hours of the day. So we know where there is in the big picture of our world. Now we're going to break it down to these micro little step-by-steps to say, well, what am I going to accomplish today? How am I going to get there today? I was asked this question the other day, and somebody said to me, my friend Virginia from the Buzz Conference, she says, how did you know when did you recognize that you became successful? And I sat there and I went, I didn't become successful. She's like, really? That's very interesting. I'm like, why is that interesting? She goes, well, if you sort of outside looking in, she goes, you've got, some successful businesses going. She goes, you're out there, a lot of people know you. She goes, you've got this amazing family. You've got all this family time, you're always spending time with them and, all this stuff. And I was listening to her and I thought like, that's a pretty cool perception that people have. So I backtracked for a second. I said, actually, let me take that back. I realized that I became successful on March 12th, 2011, when my best little buddy in the entire world was born, Joshua. I then realized I became super duper successful when my little girl was born on June 4th, 2013. Right. That was where my life became successful. I had my two little kids. I mean, I've got an awesome wife at home. I got a beautiful house. I got my wonderful children. That's success. But I said to her, I said, business? Oh, we haven't hit it yet. We're not there yet. I mean, we're real happy with where we are. Like we love where we are, but we're not where we're going. So we don't see us as successful yet. But you see, why did I bring that up? I brought that up because for me, on a daily basis, we know exactly where we're going every single day, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. We have a roadmap for exactly what needs to be accomplished. And every day that we actually accomplish that and we check something off on, on that sort of to-do list, we know we're getting one step closer to our goals. Which now, instead of just reviewing our goals every 365 days, which is kind of where I'm at with you right now, it's you got to review your goals. I review them daily. Lifetime, down to annual, down to monthly, down to weekly, down to daily, down to hourly, right? I know every hour what I'm trying to accomplish. Right now, this podcast in this moment in time, when we are done here, this is something I can check off and go, Dave, you did it. Now, let's be real about something right now, okay? And I tell you what your big goal is every single day. I mean, outside of the material and emotional things that you want to accomplish, the more deals you want to get, because I'm down. I'm with you, right? We want to get a new deal every day. But what are you focused on today that's going to help you get closer to that? What's the one thing you need to focus on? Building relationships. Now, I know some of you were like, he's going to say building mindshare. You got to build mindshare in order to maintain and improve on those relationships. But the big thing is your big goal every day is to build relationships. And if every day you're taking a step closer to building more relationships, well, hey, every day you're getting a step closer to getting more deals. Without the relationship, you don't really get the deal. Because if I don't trust you, I mean, if I don't know you or like you, forget it. If I don't trust you, but I might know you or like you, but I don't trust you, forget it. So every day, that constant mind share build, what are you going to do in every hour of your day that's going to take you closer to doing that? Right. So step one is really, you've got to define those goals and understand what you're trying to accomplish. And at this point in time, I've gone through with all of our Mindshare Masters, we've gone through doing our 90-day review. Right. So we've gone through our AMH, audience marketing hustle. We've done our Model T, and we've looked at our marketing plans, our marketing budgets. We've looked at our deal trackers. Where are our deals coming from? And I'm going to talk more to that in a second. But how all that gets done is through, I don't want to say one simple task, but it gets done by one task. There's one thing you've got to do, and it's got to be consistent. It's got to be something that you do every day, no matter what, so that, again, when you wake up, you know where you're going. Manage time. Managing time. And I know there's people going, oh man, I'm so busy and oh, I got so much to do. And I know you talk about managing time. I try, but then, I get that phone call or I get that email or that social media post and, my day just goes up in the air and I just can't keep up. But, I really want to. Okay, well, wanting to, like we said off the top, that's just one thing, but making it happen, that's a whole different ballgame, right? It is up to you. It is up to you and only you to really take control of your schedule. And again, if you're complaining about, I'm going to use the word complaining. And if you're sitting there going, well, it's not a complaint, it's just reality. All right, cool. Listen, we are all busy. Every single one of us has too much to do. And I say too much because these silly things have driven us crazy. For the amount of notifications we get out of this thing, we're constantly looking at it. We're constantly distracted by it. We don't even realize how much time we waste with it. Oh, yeah, I want to get better at social media. I just don't have the time. Yeah, you got to make the time. I know I need to make calls to my database because that's where my business comes from, but I don't have the time. You need to make the time. See, yes, the schedules are busy. But when you plug this into your schedule, your calendar, your roadmap, and every single day you can see what is it that I'm trying to accomplish, and you get through it one by one, hey, you are getting closer to achieving your goals. See, when we talk about effort, this is the effort to set those goals. This is the effort to manage your time so you can get closer to those goals. But if you don't put in the effort, it doesn't happen. Right? So again, yeah. And I was talking to a client this morning, coach a client of ours, and he says, I got so much going on right now and I need an admin. I got to bring some people on and I'm with him. I get the busyness, right? But I got so much going on right now. I need to bring people on. He says, I get home and by the end of the day, I'm wiped, man. Like I really don't, I, I can't even get the mental capacity to put more time into schedule my day for tomorrow. I just want to lay down. I'm like, listen, man, I'm with you. And we all have a lot to do in a day. And we're all really, really tired. And I'm going to tell you all right now, by about 5, 6 o'clock in my day, typically speaking, in a normal day, I turn off. Like I shut it down. I mean, it's not fully down. It's like the volume's down. It's not fully off. But when I say I shut it down, what I'm really saying is that I got these two amazing little kids at home. And the reason I do what I do every single day is to be able to provide a better life for them and for our family. I mean, obviously, because I love what I do here, if you couldn't tell. But still, the whole thing becomes now if I want to spend time with them, I've got to block time out. But I also have to recognize that when I go and I turn off for a bit or I turn it down for a bit, hey, there's some stuff I'm going to have to do later on. No matter how tired I am, I'm going to have to put in the effort to get it done. This way, I'm prepared for tomorrow. And I had one of those days yesterday. Long day, really, really busy. Got home, spent time with the kids. They went to bed at about 9:30. And what I do? Right back to the laptop. And trust me, I did not want to. I wanted to lay on the couch, close my eyes or watch a show on Netflix and just, veg out and go to bed. That was the type of day it was. Good day. But this is how I felt later on. I was tired. We all get that. See, the difference right there is the choice. Are you going to make the choice to succumb to being tired and say, don't worry about it. I'm not going to schedule myself for tomorrow because, we'll figure it out. Well, then here's what happens is that, you wake up in the morning and you don't really know where you're going. And now you try to maybe roadmap it because, why not? Okay, I'll try to plan it out now. Next thing you know, you scrolled MLS, you scrolled Facebook, you made a few phone calls and like, I don't know, I'm going to go for lunch now or I got to do these showings. Okay, cool. But what did you do to hunt for more business? What did you do to build that mind share, to build more relationships? You probably didn't because you didn't manage your time accordingly. Hence why I really, really harp on time management, right? I mean, look, part of time management also is figuring out when do you excel at certain things. So when are you better making your phone calls? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? When do you find it's a challenge to make those phone calls? When do you find that you need to run around and do showings or meet with clients? I mean, maybe those are times that you can't do your calls, or much the same, I'm going to encourage you. One of the beautiful parts about being about doing the hustle, being in business, a businesswoman, a businessman, a business person, is you're in the car, you're on the way to a meeting, you're on the phone. As you get off, get out of the car, you tell the person on the car, hey, I got to go. I'm running into another meeting, and you put it down. And now what are you doing? You're doing the hustle. Now, here's the cool part about it. As you're talking to this person, and then you run into that meeting with that person, and then you get back on the phone with somebody else later on, you know what you're doing? I just said it 7 times. You're doing the hustle. But now you look back at yourself in the mirror and you go, I'm doing it. Like I'm a business person. I am making things happen right now. And it changes the mindset. It puts you into this place where you go, I feel really satisfied. I feel really confident in my abilities and the things that I do every single day. But now as you're doing it, one of the things you do when you're looking at your schedule is you're going, where do I excel? Where do I do better at this? Where do I find that every time I plug it in at 1 p.m., it never gets done at 1 p.m. or I'm never in the mindset for 1 p.m. Okay, cool. So plug it in for 9 a.m. Change it up. I mean, some of the DMOs, the non-negotiables, which is part of my DMO, my daily method of operation, I've got to get my calls done. And I'm talking about reaching out to my database, not answering calls. I've got to get my emails done. And I mean, again, sending out emails, not just replying to emails. And I've got to get my social media done. And I'm talking about posting, engaging, acting with purpose, not just stalking. I mean, scrolling aimlessly, right? So non-negotiables to build a mind share include social, they include email, they include phone calls. And the best part about it is all those people are people that already know you, like you, and trust you. So now you're just being consistent about reaching out to say what's up. And I mean, look, we could go on about what to talk about and everything else. We'll do that another time, right? But the point is, every single night, I'm going to schedule what the entire day looks like tomorrow. And if you're just new to this and you're just about to embark on this because of what I'm saying here, one thing I'm going to caution you, I'm going to advise you to do is pay attention to, again, like I said a minute ago, where do you excel at it? Where's a better time or not such a good time for you to do it? And once you figure that out, plug it into the right places. And now you'll be more efficient at it. So there's definitely a learning curve to it. But if you want to get it done, you have to plug it in. You have to put it in your schedule as a light item every single day. Now, as we continue on about effort, which is one of the call it big pillars towards success, we look at effort and we talk about tracking your results. And what did I accomplish? And again, why this is such a perfect, timely, show today, because we're doing that. Like I said, look, every morning as part of my DMO, every single morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I do my read review, which means I'm putting 30 minutes into feeding my brain as the absolute first thing I do in the morning. I'm not checking social media. I'm not looking at emails. I love you all, but I do not care what you have to say at 7 o'clock in the morning. Sorry. Now, here's the thing, though. Take that. Like, I want you to not care what I have to say at 7 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? 6 o'clock. Like, you need that 60 to 120 minutes when you wake up to get your mind right. Don't let me get your mind right. Don't let somebody else affect your mind, because they may not make it right. They may make it wrong. You know what I mean? They may take you off to left field and you're like, oh man, what a shitty day. Look what they're doing. Look what I'm not doing. Oh my God, I can't believe they said that. I mean, that sets the tone for the entire day. And well, that's not going to put you on a real good path to success in your day if you're constantly worried about what other people are doing or thinking about what they said. And again, when you first wake up in the morning, you want to be sure that you're in your head, not in their head. So the same way that you may be a coffee drinker, I love my coffee. I go get my cup of coffee in the morning. The other thing I'm doing is I'm feeding my brain. I'm constantly doing my reading. And then immediately I'm looking at my numbers. What are we accomplishing today? And listen, I look at these numbers every single day. So I can almost look at them or not have to look at them and know what they are. Nope. Mental trigger. Okay. Look at the numbers. Talk about the numbers. Be conscious of the numbers, and you will get closer to those numbers. Hell, you may surpass those numbers. Something I've said a lot. Goals are not necessarily meant to be achieved. People always wonder, like, dude, are you like, why would we set them? See, in my mind, goals are meant to drive us. They're meant to push us. And that's why, typically speaking, the goals you set shouldn't be easy to achieve. Because the minute they're easy to achieve, we don't put the foot on the gas. We get complacent. We take our time. We don't worry about managing time and tracking our numbers, because why do we have to? So again, as we're talking about tracking, okay, um, reviewing your goals that you have, that are daily goals, that are monthly goals, and as we speak today, as we're doing our end of month tonight, we're also doing our end of quarter, right? We're going to be able to look at those numbers for the entire quarter and say, what did we do in the first 90 days of the year? So again, I want you to be tracking these things. I want you to look at as well. And when we talk about tracking, I want you to think about the, percentage of, um, where does your business come from? Group one or group two? So the percentage of business that's coming from group one versus the percentage of business that's coming from group two. And if you're tracking every single deal you do, and I do this with all of my Mindshare Masters, like everybody that's in our coaching community, we go through this, whether it's a group or individually, one by one, we track the deals, right? And we want to know what was your role? Were you the buying or listing? Where did it come from? Which is really, really important. Did it come from the contact list? Did it come from referral? Did it come from a sign call? Was it, off the MLS? Like, where did it come from? So when we know how many deals we're doing, what kind of dollars were brought in, and where they came from, well, the next step too is to look at our marketing and ask ourselves, what am I doing to spend on marketing? How am I building mindshare out there? And once I know how I'm building mindshare, I'm going to look at my marketing. And again, we do this through our Model T with the AMH. We go through and we say, well, here's what I'm doing for group one. Here's what I'm doing for group two. And now we're able to look and say, well, I know what I'm doing for marketing. So what channels I'm using. I know who I'm talking to. So who's my audience? And I know how much it's costing me every single month. Now we're able to look and say, am I over budget? Am I under budget? Am I on budget? What am I doing? We're also, and here's a key, we're also able to go back to, and this is something I suggest you do, very highly suggest, that you look back to those deals. And again, where did they come from? And if you're seeing a trend, which I'm going to guess, I'm going to assume, hell, I'm going to say it straight, because I'm pretty sure I'm confident on this, or I'm correct. I'm pretty confident I'm right on this one, even for you. And I don't even know your numbers. But I would tell you that most of your business, 79%, comes from the group number one, the people that know us, like us, and trust us, right? So if that's the case, and we see that in our tracker, we look at that deal tracker and we say, oh, that's where most of my business comes from. Well, then 1 + 1 = 2. We should be doing, focusing most of our marketing efforts on that group. This is what we call scale, right? So we're going to scale our marketing. We're doing a little test market. We're spending X amount of dollars. We're getting X amount of results. Well, if we go to that same audience and we spend Y instead of X, put a little bit more into it, should we get Y results? Why not? Right? So the results are going to grow as we, put in a little bit more ammo into the marketing with these people. Make sense? Right? So again, we're focusing what percentage of our deals and our ROI are coming from our marketing efforts. That's the other thing you want to track, and you want to do that right now. Again, here, there's a typical thing right now of, well, I want to get listings. And as we talked about, winning, it's like winning the lottery when you have a listing. Well, if you want that, and a lot of people right now are upping and changing marketing and everything else and throwing shit at the wall, trying to hope things stick so they can pick up more sellers. I get it. I understand the reasoning and the logic behind it. That being said, I don't care if you're a buyer or a seller right now. If there's money to be made, let's go out and make it. So part of this whole, tracking and what I'm saying to you to do here, this exercise that you should be doing to track that you're doing the right things. Part of that, again, coming back to effort, is to analyze, where's it coming from? Am I getting enough? And could I be doing more? So again, tracking everything that you're doing. Now, speaking of tracking, another thing that we do with our Mindshare Masters, and this is something that we do on a very weekly basis with everybody who's part of our private coaching community. We provide this activity tracker, and the activity tracker is there to help everybody track their progress. And what we're doing with this, and I mean, think about this: when you track weekly activities, you see results. So the same way we're going to go over our quarter and go, what do we do now? What do we, where are we at today instead of every 365 days? But we're going to reset literally tonight. We're going to reset for the next quarter. And again, we do it every month and we do it every day. You get what's going on? We're always looking so we can always make sure we are like the sharpest knife in the drawer. We're moving faster than anybody else. Because if people are always resetting every year and we're doing it every 3 months, you're never going to keep up with us. So again, I want to encourage you to do the exact same thing. And so with this tracker that we're doing, it just allows you to see where you're excelling, where you're lacking, what could you be doing more of? So for example, one of the things you should track is how many calls are you making? And I'm talking like, how many calls are you making a day? How many calls are you making a week to your database? If we know that most of our business comes from our database, and we know that most of it's because of relationships, then why aren't we putting more fuel, more muscle into building more relationships? So again, track your calls. And you can get this, mindshare101.com/tracker. You can go in there. You can track all of your calls. How many have you made this week? Once you know what you did this week, now it's easy to say, hey, let's scale up for next week. What did I do? What more can I do? Social media posts. Now, social media is one of these things that, I mean, look, the bigger picture of this is part of your listing presentation. Right? When you're doing social media, think about it. Where's the first place you're going right now to look for something, to find somebody, to learn more? We're going to social media. We're going to Instagram. We're going to Facebook. Well, much the same. People are going to see you. Look, the line between personal and business is gone. It is gone. Doesn't exist. We got to get past this thing of like not wanting to let people in. And if you don't want to let people in, but somebody else lets people in, well, somebody else may build a relationship faster. They may get the deal over you. Why? Because they built a relationship. They leveraged the human factor, the human element that is really necessary in a transaction like this, because it's the biggest transaction of my entire life. So again, when we ask you, how many social media posts have you done this week? Have you done one? Have you done one a day? Have you done 20? And then what can you do to step it up next week? Much the same with social media. How many people did you engage with on social media? And again, engaging with people on social, this is acting with purpose. This is you actually building mindshare with people. This is you having conversations. This is what social media is all about. So we get people to track that. How many people did you add to your contact list this week? I need to find leads. It's all about lead gen. Okay, cool. Listen, if you focus on lead gen instead of paying for it, you will have quicker, bigger results than if you paid for it. Because one, you didn't cost you any money. So the ROI is going to be through the roof. But two, it's genuine, it's legit. And if you think about adding one new person a day to your contact list every single day, that's 365 new people a year. Too easy. So stay focused. How many people did you meet today? How many people did you meet this week? How many more can you meet next week versus what you did this week? Again, we're challenging you by tracking these numbers. We're challenging you to do more, right? How many deals have you closed? How many listing presentations did you go on? How many referrals did you get, right? What are you doing to be better with personal development? I mean, all of this stuff is what's going to take you closer to success. And this is why we focus so much time and effort with our Mindshare Masters in our community about this tracker and tracking your numbers and scheduling ahead and knowing what you want to achieve. Because again, without knowing where you're going, it's going to be impossible to get there. What you focus on, you will get more of. So if you focus on relationships, if you focus on building more, you will get more of them. But if you focus on bullshit, it's going to be pretty smelly around you. You know what I mean? Stay out of the weeds. Stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. Put in the effort every single day because effort is the first pillar towards having more success. Now, what's the next one? Well, next one comes down to sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want, to be where you want, to have what you want, to be who you want? What are you willing to sacrifice? And sacrifice is a big word because if you're not willing to sacrifice, it becomes very tough to achieve. You know, with everything there is to do in a day and knowing why we're doing what we're doing in a day, you know, there's that cliche line of make hay while the sun shines. But isn't it so true, right? You know, there are times that we're going to sacrifice sitting down for dinner with the family at 6 p.m. because we had to go run and show a house or present an offer or do the back and forth. I got you. But part of that sacrifice that we put in is what's going to ultimately help us get to where we want to go, right? Sacrificing time, you know, having fun so that we can have the success we want because we're looking at the big picture here. We're not just looking at today. Right? Today is too micro. We need to really know what the macro looks like and then focus on the micro tasks that are going to get us there. And part of those micro tasks sometimes will be about sacrifice. Sacrificing the things that you want to do, sacrificing a Saturday afternoon to meet with clients, sacrificing not watching your favorite show because you had to, you know, do the sign backs or run out. Sometimes we've got to do this. Right. And so that's where, again, time is so crucial to manage because at least when we look at that, we go, I know what I need to do today. I know the non-negotiables that need to be checked off. And then I know where I've got my holes in my day to be able to go do the things that all of a sudden came out of left field, or I know what I have to move around in order to go make that happen. Right. Part of sacrificing time is to look at nighttime, like the example I gave you at 9:30 at night when you're totally exhausted. Hey, sacrifice 20 minutes of sleeping to get your day planned for tomorrow. Because when you sacrifice that 20 minutes tonight of sleeping to plan for tomorrow, when you wake up tomorrow, you're out of the gate at full speed ahead. And again, how's anybody going to keep up with you? So we got to make the sacrifice there, right? One thing I don't want you to sacrifice, though, is your mindset. It's been a rough past 90 days for sure. And I mean, again, some people are making like stupid amounts of money in a really, really good way. But other people are having a tough one. As we've already talked about around mindset, around, you know, people blaming themselves, you know, low inventory, multiple offers, lots of losing. It really, really is having an effect on people's mental state of minds. And this is whether it's your fault or it's not. But everybody starts to think like, I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing? Not doing right. Right. You know, watching Netflix and aimless scrolling on social media, that is not the way to get your mind right. Okay. That is not the way to make sure that, or being involved in aimless conversations and just gossiping with people. Like, enough. What are we worried about with all the bullshit's going on out there? Let them focus on that. We focus on driving ahead, right? You want to have success, sacrifice getting out of the bullshit. I don't even think that's a sacrifice. I think that's a good thing. Stay away from those conversations. And again, stay in your lane, right? This is how we keep a better mindset. You know, realtor groups on social media, real estate groups. Oh, it's pollution. We go in there and we type a question and we wait for people to respond. And all of a sudden we get all these responses from all sorts of people and everybody's got an opinion on something. And then you get the keyboard tough guys. The people that are going to be completely rude, completely, ignorant, complete assholes, right? Because they're behind a keyboard and they can type whatever they want because they're not looking you in the face. So they can be mean. But what happens with that? And what happens with social? What happens with the reliance on social on our mindset? Oh, well, and I know, and we know that most people have a serious fear around posting on social media. Why? Why? What are they going to say? Why am I important? Do they care about me? I don't know if anybody's going to care. Oh my God, how many likes am I going to get? Oh my God, I didn't get enough likes. Oh my God, I'm not worthy. No, don't worry about that. You're just fine. You just got to stay focused on what's important, right? And being involved in these social media groups, like, listen, don't get me wrong. I want you to be involved in social media groups. In fact, what do you like? Do you like hockey? Lots of groups on Facebook for hockey. You like the Toronto Maple Leafs? I mean, of course you do. Go Leafs, go. Lots of groups on Facebook for Toronto Maple Leafs. You like Harleys like I do. Lots of groups online for Harleys. I did the outdoor rink this winter. Lots of groups online for outdoor rinks. Do you like knitting, playing the flute? I don't care. Cooking, whatever. Shopping. There's groups for that. And in those groups, people are talking about those topics. Those are commonalities that you all have together that you like. And yeah, there's going to be people there that are going to be rude and mean and everything else. But what's happening there? It's not a big, pool of realtors. Instead, it's a big pool of, I don't know, homeowners, potential clients, leads, opportunities. But you have to be focused on going to get them. You see, if you're spending all day in a real estate group, listening to everybody bitch and complain and bitch and complain, and then, bitch and complain some more and be mean to everybody. If that's where you're spending your day, again, what's going to happen? You're going to fall into this trap of thinking that that's what this industry is about. And I, for one, cannot understand why realtors spend so much time in real estate groups. Like, listen, while you're doing that, there are people out there that are actually making a shitload of money selling real estate. But you could be focused on the gossip going on in the industry because that's a big deal. That's real important to your success, right? No. In fact, when we talk about sacrifice that. Forget the FOMO. You're not missing out on anything. In fact, you're making yourself better because you're staying away from the pollution, from the negative thinking, right? Positive vibes, not negative vibes. Look, you want to tap in once in a while, take part in some convo, learn about maybe, scroll what questions that people ask. Maybe there's some good questions, good feedback in there. That's cool. Educate yourself. Again, I said that, feed the brain. But stay away from the politicking. It's not doing anything to grow your business. It's not doing much to grow your network. You want to connect with one of those realtors or some of those realtors and build a great referral network? Wonderful. Find a way to take the conversation out of that group and make it into a DM. Pick up the phone. Have a real one-to-one with them. You're going online to go offline, and that's the whole grand scheme of things when you think about all the groups that we're part of. I just want to encourage you, go find the groups that you find commonalities in, not the groups that are just real estate, because, again, they affect the mind. People are mean. Oh, I'm not getting the likes, like I said, right? These are all things that start to make us think, I don't know if I should do any more there. And then the other problem people have is they talk about privacy, right? Oh, but my privacy. I don't really want to let everybody in. The line between personal and business is gone. Gone. Long gone. I said that already. You got to let people in. Now, you can be selective of what you let them into. For example, if you're going to go ahead and say, you know what, I want to, we're going to do, and just whatever, fun example that my friend Chelsea came up with one day, but date night. Hey, tell me you're on date night. Just don't tell me what you talked about on date night, right? Or if you got a puppy, share the story about your puppy. If you like hockey, Harleys, you get it? Share it. Share with people who you are. Give people an opportunity to connect with you, to build a relationship with you, right? That's where genuine business comes from. So again, that line between business and personal is gone. And I just want to encourage you, leverage it. And I said this before as well. It's going to improve your listing presentation. What do we do when we go online? Maybe I saw the property. Maybe I spoke with you on the phone. Maybe I haven't even called you yet. What am I doing? I'm going online to learn more about you. I want to know what you're up to. Who are you? What are you all about? Can I connect with you? Are you my type of people? So again, You want to improve your listing presentation. This isn't just about the PDF or the leave behind. This is about the pre-work that you do ahead of time. So when people look you up and they figure out more about who you are, they can either say, like, I like this person, this is my people, or maybe I don't. But I want you to think about your social media game. If you've got a fear around it, we can help you with this. We cover a ton of this off in our Mindshare Masters community, which again, if you go to mindshare101.com, click on coaching, then click on group coaching, you can learn all about it. Join us, please. We got a wonderful community of people. You will learn a ton. And plus, we got an arm's reach to each other. So if you need anything, I'm right here for you. Right. But we go through all this stuff and really talk about how to leverage this. And I want to help you. And in fact, that's the third part of success. So, we've talked about effort, we've talked about sacrifice, and the third pillar in terms of, foundational pillar to your success is help. A 4-letter word, HELP. Help. Now, I ask everybody, if you tune into this podcast on a regular basis, first of all, I'm very grateful. Second of all, hey, don't forget, rate it on iTunes. We would love you for it. But I ask everybody this on my podcast. At the end of the show, the same question. How do you know it has been a successful day for you? Now, get this. This is the coolest part about the whole thing. When people answer this question, what they're not saying, what I haven't heard from anybody yet, and again, how do you know it's been a successful day? What I have not heard from anybody yet is somebody saying to me, oh, I did a deal or I made money. Nobody brings up the transaction. Zero. I signed a listing. Nobody. Which is really interesting, right? Because you think like a lot of people measure successes on how much money they're making or again, where they're bringing deals in from or how much, whatever. But in this case, nobody ever talks about money. Instead, they always talk about how they helped other people. And I got to tell you, I mean, when you change your mindset into the way you operate and what you do and why you're getting up every day, when you think about helping others, and I know some people think they're like, but hey, man, I don't got the time to help other people. I'm so busy with my day. How am I going to do that? And no. Listen, you got to understand something. You want to have more success? Think about how you can help other people. You've heard the term, the power of reciprocity. Give and you shall receive. It's really what it comes down to. Now, you got to be completely genuine. You cannot be giving in order to think, hey, if I give enough, I'm going to receive. Sidebar secret, that's the way it works. Give enough and you will receive. But you got to be genuine. You got to be authentic. You've got to have intent for helping people. Give, and do not expect to receive. And just at that moment, that's when the world will give back. So what are you doing every day to get out there and help people? See, this is about the mindset we have, right? Again, being in the right frame of mind for everything that we want to achieve in life. I want more. I want to do more. Cool. How can you help more people? This could be helping people move into their dream home. This could be helping people figure out the financing problem. This could be helping people pick out the best color of paint for their new walls. This could be helping people make their grass greener. This could be helping the little old lady across the street. I don't care. How can you help people? You think about adding that into your day. In fact, I want you to think about how often you do that in your day right now. Is that something you do on a regular basis? You help others? Or do you just kind of go about your day? And maybe, once in a while you help somebody, but you're not constantly thinking about it. No, I want you to consciously think about it now. And it's not that it's going to be a line item in the schedule that says 1 p.m., help somebody. No. But it's about thinking about the fact that when somebody calls you with maybe the smallest little request, the smallest little thing, and they need some advice, give it to them. This is karma, baby. You know what I mean? Like, this is that moment where at some point you're going to be that person on the other end going, I need help or I need advice or whatever. You do it enough for people and people will do it back for you. And then when people do it back for you or you've helped other people, no matter which way it goes, I want you to be grateful for it. Grateful that somebody helped you or grateful that you had the opportunity to help somebody else. You see, if I tell you that gratitude has to be one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, I'm talking living a life of gratitude, right? being grateful for everything that happens, being grateful that I've got the opportunity to be here with you today, being grateful for the fact that you are here with me today. When I tell you, and I am 1,000,000%, I can't tell you how grateful I am. And that's why I love the reviews on iTunes, because at least I get to see who's listening, who's here, who's tuned in. Guys, we hit top 10 the other day on iTunes. Top 10. It even said peak ranking was number 7. Are you kidding me? Do you know what kind of feeling that is? And that's because of you guys. I mean, listen, I got to take a little bit of credit. If I wasn't doing the show, you guys wouldn't be here. So, it's kind of a team effort over here. But no, seriously, like that's what it comes down to, right? And I'm grateful for it. Like I am so grateful you have no idea. In fact, I am grateful for all the success that you're able to achieve because of stuff that I am helping you do. I'm grateful for the opportunity just to be able to help you with it. I'm grateful when my kids, do something good at school. I'm grateful when somebody, gives us a compliment. I'm grateful when, I could go on and on and on. When I hit my goals, when I got time to spend with my kids, when the family's safe, when we got good feedback. I mean, I can't explain to you. You know what I mean? I'm grateful. Mir, thank you, man. I'm grateful for that comment. Right? Congratulations, hitting top 10. You got it, man. Like this is awesome. But this is gratitude. Now, here's the cool thing, okay? Back before COVID, I was, like to pay attention to the news, know what's going on in the world, know what's happening out there. As COVID started, we were all very glued to the TV and trying to pay attention, what's going on, what's happening, everything else. And what are the numbers? And you get to a point where it's like, it's pollution, it's negativity. It is just everything is bad, 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 bad. Now, little disclaimer, which you probably know, but I live in Toronto, Canada. Here's the news, the local news station that's talking about all the stuff going on. They tell me about a car accident in Germany. Listen, I hope the people in that car accident are fine. I really, really do, genuinely. But I live in Toronto. No offense. I guarantee you there was a car accident in Toronto you could have talked about. Instead, I don't even want to know about any of the car accidents. Why don't you tell me about one of the good news stories that happened here at home? Because I know there was a lot of good news stories. Yet all we do is we focus on the negative. So I stopped listening to the news. I've just drowned it. I don't want to know about it anymore. Forget it. Dave, did you hear about this? Nope. Oh, man, you're not paying? Nope. Blinders on, headphones on. Let's keep moving. We got things to do because you know what? I cannot help and change all the negativity that's out there. Instead, I can focus on the positivity in my world. I can be grateful for what's going on around me. And I'm telling you now, this right here, you write down with this pen and a piece of paper, you write down everything that you are grateful for today at the end of the night before you lay your head down. And I challenge you to do this. Write down everything that you are grateful for that happened today. Manifest what you want to happen tomorrow and next week, and write down how grateful you are that it already happened. And you will find a lot more to be happy about, to be grateful for today than any of the bullshit that might have happened in your world today. Any of it. Losing that deal, running around, having to call 35 different people back just to let them know they didn't win, whatever. All the bullshit, that's all it is bullshit. But our minds are programmed to focus on that negativity. So I want you to change that. Paradigm shift right now. I challenge you. Take a pen, a piece of paper, or a journal, and start writing down every single night from now on what you are grateful for that happened today. Sometimes I write down 5 or 6 things. Sometimes I write down a page. But I'm telling you now, every time I write, and I do it every day, because that's what sets the mind right. That's what allows me to lay my head down on a positive note, go to bed satisfied, wake up determined. Part of that 20 minutes when I'm doing my scheduling, part of it is literally writing down my grateful journal, acknowledging all the tiny little wins that I had today. Because all those tiny little wins, those are the little brushstrokes that paint my masterpiece. Brick by brick, brushstroke by brushstroke. We heard it before. Rome wasn't built overnight. The Mona Lisa wasn't painted in a day. Just like your business, all of this is going to take time. So look at that. We talk about the 3 pillars of success, right? Effort, sacrifice, and help. None of it really has to do with, hey, more money or whatever. No. Put in the effort every day. Know where you need to sacrifice and figure out how you can help more people. You do that, and the world will help you back. And the final little piece of this, the little magic ingredient that goes on everything, is consistency. You can't just do this today. This has to be something that you do every single day. And when you live like this every single day, you inject that little magic ingredient called consistency. It's amazing how your world begins to change. So all of this stuff is stuff that I help our coaching network with on a daily basis. And I'll tell you, we've been running the numbers. We are currently, as of right now, we are coaching over 2,500 agents. A lot of people going through our momentum training program, which if you are an agent, a broker, a manager, maybe you work with one of the boards, momentum training is a group training. And this is where, again, boards, associations, brands, or offices hire us to do a specific customized training program for the office. It's a progressional learning series. You can go to mindshare101.com, click on training, click on group training, and you'll learn more about momentum training. Again, please get in touch with us if you got questions about that. The 2,500 includes our Mindshare Masters in our private community. So everybody that's part of our private community online, they get a whole bunch of benefits, including one of them being part of our VIP room for our Mindshare podcasts. We also do daily marketing sales tips in that group every day. We run a specific event for them on a monthly basis that's very exclusive, where it's a Mindshare, a boiler room, but we all get together and we all really drive each other more. This also includes our one-to-one coaching clients, right? Everybody that we're working with on an individual basis. But for everything that we do, none of it is one size fits all. This is not a one size fits all solution. This isn't about a cookie cutter approach. This is about a customized plan for you so that it really works for you. Now, Q1's over. The first 90 days of the year, they're in the bag. However they've gone for you, again, we're only 25% of the way there. We still have another 275 days to achieve the success that we ultimately want. So all of it is going to come down to how dedicated you are to the process. Okay. Are you tracking everything at all times like we talked about? Or are you bitching and complaining, about how busy you are and about what others are not doing, right? Look, my daughter woke up this morning. She woke up this morning and she was having a little emotional moment. And she's a 7-year-old little girl, and I'm learning quickly, emotions are starting to really build. But when I asked her what was wrong, she was trying to get changed. She said she was crying. She said to me that her leg hurt. And I looked and I thought to myself, how do I deal with this right now? Her leg hurts. I mean, I'm looking at her. It doesn't seem like anything's wrong. I'm not sure if she's just tired. She just woke up, wrong side of the bed. Who knows? So I gave her two choices. I said, okay, listen, Lee, you got two choices right now. And she looked at me. All of a sudden, it was crazy because the crying kind of almost stopped. But I looked at her and I said, you can stay home from school, get back in your bed, and lay down for the rest of the day. And she kind of like crying completely stopped. And she looked at me like, I don't want to do that. I said, or the second option is you can get dressed and get to school. The choice is yours. You choose one. Now, this wasn't me being some sort of asshole. You know what I mean? Instead, it's the same message I'm telling you right now, right? It's the same thing I said to her. You have a choice. And it's up to you which one you choose. But that's what it comes down to. You have to make the choice. So again, same to you, right? You have the choice. Keep doing what you're doing, or take the steps that I just explained to you and go and earn your success. Now, if you want to explore further, we have our Mindshare Master community, which is our private coaching group. We have our one-to-one coaching. Connect with me today, and let's get you to your next level. You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or maybe you download our free Industry Syndicate podcast app, or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. This is a 31-page ebook packed with a ton of tips and tricks for you. Plus, there's a ready-to-go 90-day social media content calendar to help you build more mindshare so that you can get more market share. And if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching to help you get to your next level, just get in touch with me. We'll set up a free consultation call. We'll learn more about what you're looking to achieve and, well, how I will help you do just that. And don't forget our push to 100 is on. So please be sure to go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, rate us, and leave a review. And if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at MindShare101 and on Instagram at DavidGreenspan101. I want to once again thank Alessandra Ocampo from Vantage Law for sponsoring today's episode. Be sure to check in with them for all of your legal needs. And remember, they offer virtual service and mobile service within a 2-hour radius of their Vaughan office. And I want to thank Kids Keep in Touch Systems for also sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't checked us out yet, just go to my site, mindshare101.com, and click on Marketing. This has been another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.